Now, let's examine the summary report. The summary report provides an overview of a student's activity from the first time they logged on to LTK through the last time. Notice that this student's overall performance over the 6.5 hours they have been using the program is quite high. These performance results are typical of students using the LTK software. This report can be very useful in communicating student progress with students, parents, and other teachers. Now, let's examine the progress report. The progress report presents one line of information for each lesson taken by the student thus far. The Language Tune-Up Kit program was designed to provide users with all the information they need without having to refer to a manual or user guide. Note that this report tells you the skills covered within each lesson. When information appears under the Practice Needed heading, this indicates that this student may need extra practice. For Lesson 10, this student needs practice in learning words containing the short O sound. When an asterisk appears at the far right of the screen, this indicates that the student needs extra instruction on the skills covered within this lesson. Now, we are going to examine the detail report. Every error made by a student is logged in the LTK student history file. The most difficult activity within the LTK program is dictate sentences. This is because the student must remember every word that is pronounced, type the words correctly, and spell them correctly. At the top of this screen, you will notice that the command or the lesson activity was dictate sentences. What was expected from the student and what was actually entered are different. Note the date and time at the right side of the screen. Some students may want to rely on the hint button to get them through a lesson activity without making errors. Every time the hint button is pressed, its use is recorded in the student history file. Now, let's look at the LTK Placement Test report. The Student Placement Test report shows you what student errors were made and the lesson number that was automatically assigned. In this instance, the student was presented with 14 word groups containing 3 words in each group. The student made 4 errors and was assigned to Lesson 7. The filtering option provides the teacher with a useful tool to examine student performance. You may filter data by either a date range or by a lesson number range. Just click on either the date range or the lesson range fields to select your criteria. Once you have selected your choice of ranges, click on one of the Student Reports options on the left of the screen to view the data. This concludes the report section of the Language Tune-Up Kit for Schools demonstration.